Alright then, here we go. I am GleCi here, and it's my MCC prediction time. Finally, I hit the intro correctly. Starting out with the red team this event, we have the Crimson Krakens, featuring first the Captain Sparkles, Kara Corvus, and Krinios. This is definitely an OG team, as we've seen them many a times before, and they've definitely have a reputation for getting a certain place, but hopefully that'll change this event. I can see them doing very well for themselves, but I can also see them just hanging out with each other and not playing to win. Their best game is Parkour Tag, as they're just all solid players in that game. I can see why, so this is definitely a team to watch out for, but this event is very, very balanced. I want to preface before I actually go into my placements, but we'll see that in a bit. And for the players, Ratsy's has just always been cracked. The captain is definitely a solid top 10 player if he really steps up on the day. Kara provides some good morale support, and Krinios can definitely step off and definitely pop off sometimes too. Starting with the orange team, we have the absolute god that is Illumina, paired alongside Philza, which is a very long-awaited duo. Alongside on her second event, Elena and Shovel, who has been in every single event and will probably never skip one. This is definitely a team that I can see doing very, very well. I think they were the strongest. Personally, I think they're the strongest team that was announced in the first half. Even though I do think that the second, if you'll see this later, but I do think that the second day was more stacked than the first half. But I do see this team doing very, very well. I think if Illumina shows up on the day as he did in MCC's 18 and 20, we can see him get a triple. Get a three times in a row for him playing the event first place individual, which is crazy. We have Phil, who's always just been kind of all over the place, but I think he's always just been a good player, so I don't think he'll disappoint this event. Elena did pretty well for her first event, and Shovel's just always good. So this team is definitely one to look out for. Their best game is Sands of Time, and I think you can see why. Especially this would probably be the best team in the event. I mean, you saw those Blue 17 run where they just absolutely dominated but lost the ping, which really sucks. On the yellow team, we have Fruitberry, Smallish Beans, F Whip, and Rendog. This is definitely a team I could see doing well, but personally, I think there's some stronger teams in this event. Their best game is SG. I mean, it's Fruitberry. Why wouldn't it be? So there's not else to say about that one. But this team is definitely one that you should look out for. I've seen some people put them first. I've seen people put them last. I really didn't know where to put these guys when I was doing my rankings. Fruitberries is just always cracked. Smash means F Whip are always just pretty solid. And then Rendog, I don't really know much about his performances in the past few events, but we all know he was part of the famous MCC9 Blue Bats, which did amazing. I love that team. And well, let's go on to the next one. On the next team, we have the LLAMAS consisting of Pizza Hut, Solidarity Gaming, Good Times at Scar, and GHEEN. This team is very well balanced, and this has many long-awaited duos. I mean, it's Pizza Hut and GHEEN, it's GHEEN and Scar. I mean, this is just an all-around friendly team to watch. It's just a friendly team that you could be watching on the day. Their best game is the Sands of Time again. I think it's a big trend that all the both SG and Sands of Time have been some of these teams' best games this event, which is very interesting. Because maybe one way, definitely Game Ward is going to be a very big impact on this event, seeing as a lot of the big multiplier games are all the games that are played late are some of the team's strongest. This team is definitely pretty just chill vibes, and I definitely think if you want just a chill and fun POV to watch, this is the team for you. Next up, we have the Green Geckos, consisting of Dream, Tommy, and Sylvia and Miachu. This team's best game is survival games, and I mean it's kind of not hard to see why. Especially with Tommy and Nikki definitely dominated the MCC 14 with the Red Rabbits. In that game specifically, Sylvia has just been on a very big climbing arc in her season two. I mean, if one player could get the award for most improved in season two, it probably would be Sylvie. I mean, she went crazy. I think, and especially I wonder how the Dream and Tommy in it, because we've seen this already in MCC 17. They got sick. Don't quote me on that, but I think so. And last time, especially I was kind of expecting this team to come out sometime soon, just because of in MCC 20, Dream was texting Tommy, and it was kind of adorable. So this team is definitely quite the wild card. So I don't really know where they will place specifically. So it will be reflected on my team positions. Next is my personal team that I will be watching this event. That is the Cyan Coyotes. I don't really know what attracted me to this team so much, but this is what I'm watching. Consisting of Sapnap, CPK, Sniffish, and Cryonic Zeus. Simmers are the Simmer is going solo this event, which is very interesting to see, and I heard he's had a 5 month training arc. So he can be proved. So hopefully this is his chance to prove that he can be cracked. I mean, the last time he went competitive, which was also MCC 17, he got 25th. That was almost top half for someone who usually places in the bottom 10. So that is really good on his part. That has always just been a cracked player, especially this season. He's I don't think he's fallen out of the top five. I don't think so. Well, I guess you could count 20 because he wasn't in it, but he's recovering now, and that's good to see. CUK is just Sivers is a newcomer, which it's always unpredictable to say how they will do in their events, but it's always interesting to see where newcomers will place. But I think this team can do really well, and it might be a little bit of personal bias, because this is my favorite team that was announced, but I do think that they can do really well. Next up is the Aqua Axolotls, consisting of Antfrost, Bad Boy Halo, G, Nelly, and the return of a non-canon player, JoJo Solos, who has done very well in the two events that she's played in. This team is the best Sands of Time team by a long shot, clocking in at 1547, I believe, in average coins, which is crazy. I mean, we have Bad Boy Halo and Gianelli, who are actually, fun fact, they're actually, I think, the two top Sands of Time players, because the one time that they played in the canon event, their teams came first and second, which is pretty funny to me. So yeah, that might gas this team up a little bit in Sands of Time, but I do think this team is going to put in the effort to VOD review a whole lot, especially seeing how Anna Frost is in the event is on this team. I mean, it's Aqua. Why wouldn't he be on it? It's definitely a team that I can see doing very well. I think that people are gonna sleep on this team, but I wouldn't. So be careful. This is the Blue Bat team consisting of 5 Out Purple, Jack Manifold, and Tubbo. This is an interesting team as I see them. They could do either very well and come first place, or they can do very they can get demoralized very easily and come. This team tilts, they're definitely gonna come bottom half, which is very sad to see because I actually really like this team and I would like them to see. I would love to see them perform pretty well. And Robot had a very good first event, coming top 15 on his rookie performance, and he says he can do better, which is very promising. So we could very well see him break top 10 this time. The team, without a doubt's best game is to get to the other side with the strongest to get to the other side team in this event. There's no reason why they wouldn't be. I mean, Hubble's pretty good, Purple's cracked. Five came first place as a team last time. And I don't know about Jax to get to the other side performance, but we could assume it's pretty good on the fact that this team is just so cracked at that game. Next, we have a team that I personally was like, this team shouldn't be in this event because I thought it's gonna reflect my vision, but I do think this team is very strong, being the Purple Pandas. And we have Puns, who is an absolutely cracked PvPer and has the best, has been having the season two of his life. We have Sam, who did all right last event. His team came fourth, which was pretty good. But if we look just one event before, he was on the legendary Cerulean Candy Canes, who went crazy despite community predictions. So we definitely can see another great performance by him. We also have Pong, who's shown that he has great potential to perform in games such as like I don't really know what his best games are. Maybe I should have gone there. Then we have Scott. who is just an all around good, is just an all around solid player who is just gonna be who's definitely there to carry the games like build work for this team. Which I saw as their worst game. But with Scott, I mean Scott's carried teams like Green Geckos and he Mustard Mummies to first places, well, first and second places respectively in Belmart. So we could definitely see this team pop off. I think this team's gonna go crazy, and I do think, and it'll reflect my position. I do think this team's very strong. Up last but not least, we have the Pink Parrots, consisting of Randu, Sneak, Wilburson, and George Found. This team is quite a funny team. I think if you're looking for a good BB team to watch, this is your POV. This is definitely a team that I can see doing either really well or just throwing for content. But I do think this team is actually going to try. I think that I think Rambo's gonna try and get his first win. I think Steve's gonna try and redeem himself after his ninth place performance after his alright performance last time. It was I don't remember what he got last time, but it was definitely I don't think we've seen his full potential yet as a player. We have Wilbur, who is always just solid, and then George as well is always just a solid player. I do think this team has very good potential. They're they're definitely. I think this team's gonna come around middle of the pack, but I do think if you're looking for a hilarious POV, this is the team to watch. Their best game is Battle Box, and it's not hard to see why. We have Sieg, who went on the infamous 9 for 9 Teal Turkey last Christmas, and we also have Rambo, who has shown he's a very good Battle Box player. Wilbur is Wilbur, we know that, and George is also pretty good at the game. Alright, now it's time for probably the hardest part about this entire thing, which was the top 10. I'm not really going to read off of these, but I'm going to leave it on for a little bit while I drink some water because my mouth is very dry right now. And I have some controversial opinions, like, oh, that's embarrassing, but alright, and we're just read this off. Yeah, I made a cute little graphic. I need to drink water. Okay. Oh, shit. Oh, well, whatever. Alright, now it's time for the actual hardest part about this, and that was placing the teams. This was definitely like someone unfortunately had to come 10th, and as you saw by my big misclick before, I put the Line Llamas in 10th. I do think that this team is actually very good, but I just think that every team in this event is good. And this team I just think has the least likelihood of making it dodgeball, but I still think that every team in this event has a chance to make it. I honestly, maybe I should put them a bit higher. I might swap. I think I probably could have swapped them with eighth place, who I have there, but I'm gonna stand by my predictions and I'm gonna defend them with my life. So fight me. Sorry if I sound stuffy. I had an allergy attack yesterday, but I still wanted to put this video out. In ninth place, I have the Green Geckos. I see this team that they can do either very well or just have fun this event. And I don't know what it is that maybe puts them in ninth, but this team is just such a wild card. I don't really know where they're gonna place. This team can very easily win, but this team can also very easily come 10th, which that's I think is just the harsh truth with literally every Tommy in a team. I don't know why it is with just that guy in particular, but yeah. Alright, we have up the Crimson Krakens in eighth. I really did want to put them higher, but I do think there's just some stronger teams this event than them. I mean, it's not third, so is it better? I don't know. But even I would just love to see this team win the event because this is actually where the captains first started, and wouldn't it just be so funny if this is where it ended? I mean, like, would it like just how poetic would that be? I really don't know what else to say about why I put them eighth, but just I just think there's some stronger teams than that. I really hate to say it because I really want them to do really good, but I just can't. I just don't see many worlds where they make the finale, but I would just adore to be proven wrong. In seventh, I have the yellow YAKS, which is definitely a team where I wasn't expecting to have to put this low, but I just do think that all the teams have higher potentials to go crazy this event. I've seen people defend yellow. I've also seen people put yellow in 10th, which is interesting. But I do think that this team has a great chance to go crazy, but there's also a chance that they won't. So that's why I'm gonna put them here. But I'm wondering if that this I could be completely wrong with this prediction, but I don't know. I really don't know about this one. In six, I put the blue bats because I think this team is definitely strong and they have the potential. I seriously think this team has the potential to come first place. I don't think many people have seen it yet, but I do think. I mean, as we saw, 5 months off the back of a big win, which he did very well this event, breaking top 10, which I don't think many people expected to happen. But I was very proud of this guy. Purple is cracked. I think he's definitely has the potential to be an S tier player. So I just think we haven't seen enough of him. I don't think this will be as big of an event per se as I mean this is six in my predictions, but I do think sooner or later we will see this guy getting first place individual. Mark my words, you will see it eventually. This I don't really. And then we have Jack and Hubble, who I think are very just all of these players. My biggest fear of this team is if they get tilted. If this team gets tilted, this team gets last. That's the harsh truth. But if this team doesn't get tilted, this team can very easily get first. Like, it's very interesting to see how this team's gonna perform on the day. Another wild card team. Like, I feel like every team in this has a wild card team. Alright, this is probably going to be my most controversial opinion on this list, and that's putting the Orange Ocelots in fifth. I don't know, maybe this is a bit too underrating though, because this team seems very strong, and I think they can very easily win. But I put them in fifth because I think that every team above these, the last four that I was talking about, have higher pop-off potential. Like, this team definitely seems like if no team goes crazy this event, I think this team easily just gets first. Like this team is very easily a top thing a top placing contender, but I do think this team is just it's like it has to be if everyone performs how they usually do, this team will get to number one. But I think there's just gonna be some pop off this event that will end up this team placing lower than most people have them. In fourth, I put the Pink Parrots. And I thought it would be really maybe to put them third just because it's a little bit of a career move, but I do think the other three teams in this event have better chances at winning. This team is definitely, I think, some people have put them low. I think I've seen a lot of people put them in second place, which is very reasonable, as they're just, I don't really know what else to say about this team. They just kind of came fourth because they did. Like, like I don't know what else to say. Like, they just came fourth. It just happens. Or in third place, I put the Aqua team. This team is actually just quite the wild card, but I think people are sleeping on this team. I think people are hard sleeping. This team definitely has great potential. I think JoJo's a cracked player. Another player I could see alongside Purple becoming an S tier sometime soon. Like this team is just very good. I don't I don't really know what it is about this team, but I just have good vibes that this team is going to go crazy this event and break all community predictions about where they're gonna place. So I do have them falling into third, sadly, because I do think the other two teams that I put on top, either if it's a slight little bit of splash of personal bias, but normally I don't usually bias that much, so I just think that this team is gonna go crazy. I don't know why, but it's gonna happen. Talking about oh god. Okay. Alright, let me recollect myself. Give me a second. Okay. Okay. Alright, in second I put the Sion team. Wait, shit. Okay, no one's here. Alright then. I might not cut that out. In second place I put the Cyan team. This team is definitely just something I this team I have just good feelings about. Like, I've actually there's no particular reason why I wanted to watch them either. I think it's just I just see this team. I see this team making the finals. I don't like. I know I've been saying that this. I don't know why, but I just see this team going crazy this event. Like, I think the soundtrack's just really good. Seeing it can also be crazy. Like, I do think this new commercial's promise, and Zeus can definitely. I might be sounding like an adult person right now, but I think that Zeus can probably break the top 10 by this time. Like, this is just. I get really good vibes for where this team's gonna place. Like, this team is just. It's good. Like, I don't. Ah. I really wish I could explain myself more, but I think the easiest thing to explain is why I put this team in first. I mean, the Purple Pandas, I mean, this is literally the easiest thing I had to do on the list was find out who I want to put first. It had to be purple. I'm gonna be honest. Like this team just seems way too good to me just to not get that first place spot. Like Huns is an insane player. We have Sam who definitely has great pop off potential. Major's always just been solid. Hawk is also solid. Like I don't see why this team doesn't get first. Like I've seen people place this team in sixth, and I'm like, what? Like I can't see this team not getting first. Like I don't, what? Like this team just seems OP. Like especially compared to everyone else that's in this event, this team just seems strong. Like when I like, it was very easy for me to put this team in first. The hardest thing about this tier list was deciding who was gonna come second, third, fourth, and fifth. Like that changed like a million times. Like I had orange and like my original predictions was orange and purple, but then I had a very swing towards cyan. I don't. It was just an interesting journey of predicting this, but I'm gonna defend them with my life. And if you say purple's not gonna get first, fight me. Like this team is just too strong for this event's circumstances. But then again, this is the same way I felt about the Green Geckos last event, and they got third, which was the biggest team ever. But I mean, my team ended up winning, so I'm not gonna complain about it. And then in dodgeball, I do think that purple would win. I just think that this team is way too strong to be in this event. Like, what? Like, I do think my Cyan boys will put up a valiant fight. I do think that they can do well. I maybe I'm wrong about this when I'm saying that purple would win, but I just think that they're gonna win the dodge. I think that purple's gonna take this event home. Like, I don't really see what else is stopping them. All right, those are my predictions. As you can see, my winners are the Purple Pandas. And I definitely think I did it a little bit weird with my commentary this event, but I'm still trying to get used to this, and I'm getting over an allergy cold. But we're gonna do this anyway, and I'm gonna defend my predictions with my life, so if you want to fight me in the comments, go ahead. And that is it. I have been Glazy, and I will see y'all later.